The odds have been all over the place for the first player taken who we don't know it will be. We know that Trevor Lawrence is going number 1 overall. We know that Zach Wilson, or at least we strongly believe he's going number 2 overall. 3rd overall pick in the draft. The favorite by a slim margin continues to be Justin Fields and Mac Jones, then Trey Lance, who's fading a little bit. So as we play this game of what's more likely, what's more likely? The 49ers were set on their quarterback target when they traded up to number 3, or they won't decide on who they're taking until next week. What's more likely? And we mentioned this because Mike Tannenbaum, former NFL GM, saying yesterday he's hearing that there isn't unanimity at the top of the organization, John Lynch, Adam Peters, Kyle Shanahan, on what they're going to do with that pick.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take what is that word? I can't
unanimity.
It doesn't take that.
Analyzation.
Right? Yeah, right. My analyzation of that team is there's a king in charge, and his name is Kyle Shanahan. So he makes the decision, okay? That's what I would say there to that. I would just be shocked, right, that they were set on a QB target as far as who they were thinking at number 3. Was it like 100%? I don't know. But my friend Kyle Shanahan is no idiot. I mean, he's no idiot. So I would think he went up there with having one guy, yes, in mind, but he wasn't just going to be like, all right, let's close up shop and not look at anything else. I don't want to do, I think he's a smart guy. He's going to continue to do his homework and do his due diligence on, everybody in this process, but I would think there's one guy in mind here to move up to number 3.
And look, you don't have to put it on paper until you're on the clock, and I guess you could. There's no reason to say who it is if you do change your mind. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what can happen.
Yeah,
It could happen between now and then.
Right.
Something could happen. Slip and fall in a bathtub. I don't know, but something could happen between now and then. And so why make it clear? And obviously the NFL doesn't want anyone to make it clear.
Yeah.
We've already ruined the first 2. We don't want to ruin number 3.
Right. No, you're right. You're right about that. And I think. Again, all 3 of these guys are really talented. It does seem like there's somebody, whether it's Lynch or Peters, somebody high up in that organization, it seems to like Trey Lance. That just seems to jump out to me because you hear that name a lot, I feel like, more in NFL circles than anything, and even through the media there and everything like that. So I don't know where it is there, but like I said, I would just be shocked if there wasn't one guy in mind here to make that move to go up to number 3, and I would think they know who that is, and they're just kind of doing their homework.
I don't know who pointed this out. It may have been Peter King at some point in the past week on the program. It may have been you. It all starts to blend together for me. But could they be holding out hope to try to get the Falcons, if the Falcons are dead set on Lance, to the point where they wouldn't take Jones, they would take Lance to do a flip-flop? I can't imagine that at this point.
No, I can't
After
either,
what
but
you
it's
give up to get there, you're not going to risk not
Right.
getting the guy you want.
Yeah, no. I mean, to me, like that, then you would have to. You'd almost have to have like, okay, we'll trade it with you, but you got to guarantee you're going to pick this guy, so our guy will be there. I don't know, but yeah, I don't envision that happening, and I think they made a play because they want a different quarterback for the future. That's what they did. Jimmy G, whether he hangs around for one more year, I would seriously doubt that. I would think that he gets traded sometime between now and June or July, something there. But they're going to pick, a quarterback at number 3. And like I've always said, I'll be shocked if it's not Mac Jones.
Superstar tight end Kyle Pitts, what's more likely? He's drafted in the top 5, or 4 quarterbacks are taken in the top 5?
Oh,
likely.
This is a good.
All comes down to the Falcons.
Yeah, right. Isn't it? It is. It's amazing. I mean, it really is. This is the spot right here. I'm gonna say that they go the tight end. I mean, Pitts is awesome. I mean, he's awesome. I've never really seen a tight end like him since I've been on this side of the business and really been studying players coming out in the draft and doing all that. I mean, to move the way he moves, You can't cover him, Mike. You can't. He can get open because he's got great quickness and speed, but even when he's covered, he's unbelievable at 50-50 balls, back shoulders, whatever it is. I mean, it's 80-20. It's 90-10. It's unbelievable, Mike. I mean, he's got some of the best corners in college football all over him sometimes. Doesn't matter. 20-yard gain. Easy catch. I mean, he just makes it look easy. And then he can run after the catch. So, I mean, if I'm the Falcons, That's where I'm going. You got a quarterback that's still really good in your hand, right? What's your old saying? You think you always say you got a bird in the hand, right? I mean, they got somebody that I think has a few years left. But to look for the future quarterback, I just feel like that day's done. There's quarterbacks every year. You can make a move like Shanahan did at the 49ers if you need a quarterback to get one in the draft, whatever. I just don't think you look that far down the road when you got one that's got at least 2-3 real good years left in him.
And I will underscore this point before we move on.
Yeah.
And I know that there will be people who disagree with me, but I am very, very confident that call at 4 is going to be made by Arthur Blank. He's not going to mandate. He's not going to dictate.
Right.
He's going to make it known. He's got subtle ways and not so subtle ways of making what he wants known. If he wants Pitts, he's getting Pitts. If he wants Lance, he's getting Lance. That's what it's going to be. And there may be no footprints or evidence or anything, but rest assured what Blank wants is what Blank is going to get. All right, what's more likely? The Bengals take receiver Jamar Chase at number 5 or tackle Penei Sewell?
Woo!
Chase, the former Joe Burrow teammate.
Right?
Sewell, the future teammate who could keep Joe Burrow on the field.
And here's the thing, too, that's interesting about this. They could play it either way. They really could. But these two positions, there's going to be a really good one left at the top of the second. This is where it's a tough decision. It really is. I'm going to say Penei Sewell, but I don't feel confident in that. I still think there's got to be a chance where the Bengals look at this and go, wait, Joe Burrow, we know how awesome this guy, they got a special connection, and with those receivers and Joe Mixon, I mean, you could really have an elite skill group unit there if you add Jamar Chase at number 5 there. I would have to think that's enticing them a little bit here. So it's interesting, but I'm going to say Penei Sewell as we sit here right now, but I don't feel totally confident about that. What about you? What would you do?
I feel more confident. I think it's going to be Sewell.
Okay.
I think they were burned by John Ross, 4 years ago, the last guy taken before Patrick Mahomes, and he didn't work out. They've got receivers. They can get more receivers later in the draft. I think they go Sewell. Let's take a break. We'll continue this game of what's more likely when PFT Live continues right after this. All right, we continue with what's more likely. The New York Giants, they currently sit at number 11. They rarely trade down. As Shermidi Williams pointed out yesterday, the last time they traded down was with the Steelers in 2006 when the Steelers drafted Santonio Holmes. The Steelers like to draft up for the guys they really like. The Giants reportedly could trade down. So, Chris, what's more likely? They trade down from number 11 or they trade up into the top 10?
I think it's trade down all the way. This is still a team that, has got, holes to fill, and I don't know, what would be there that's so glaring as far as one guy that they need right now that would be a top 10 talent. I mean, maybe a pass rusher, but I think there's going to be a good pass rusher probably sitting there on the board at number 11. The one thing that I continue to hear from friends and people around the NFL, Mike, and I don't know if you've heard this either, the whole draft is looking to trade down. Everybody wants to trade down and accumulate picks. Everybody.
Or trade up.
Right.
Trade down to trade. Hey, we can just go ahead and supply all of the reporting for the next 8 days. Insert name of team is considering trading up and considering trading down and considering using the pick that it currently has.
Well, yeah, right. Well, I think really, I mean, you're right. We're going to hear all that bull crap. But I think, really, because of the year and the circumstances around it, lack of information out there on some of these players. Wait, we haven't seen them play football in 2 years. I've heard this too many times. There's too many teams not comfortable with the draft this year. I think more teams that I talk to, they want to push draft picks in the next year. That's what they're looking for. Next year, where we feel better, we can vet these guys better, we can meet them, we can go through more workouts and get more information on the guys, all of that. So I would think trade down too, because, again, I think the Giants, pass rusher, one thing you look at, I don't know, they could certainly go offensive line, in that area, and I would think that there's going to be a good one to trade down there if you get the right, the right trade package that's still available. And for the Giants, what they would want, right, is you would hope that a Fields or a Trey Lance fell down there. And now will a New England, a Washington, a Chicago want to trade up and get the quarterback, and you get a bevy of picks off of that? That would be ideal for Big Blue.
Yeah, and I like the point that teams are going to be looking to pick up draft picks next year to address needs next year, to better vet next year. And it creates an interesting balance between the coaches and the GMs who may not be around next year. That's how you find that marriage of a team that will trade up and a team that will trade down. The teams with security trade down, give me the picks next year. I can do a better job of getting comfortable with who I'm taking. Coaches and GMs this year, I got to win this year. I got to go all in. I got to roll the dice. And some of those moves may work. That's the thing. It's a crapshoot anyway. It's a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah.
But this is a year where you could roll the dice and get lucky.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.